right, launch control. Oh my God. How's it going, guys? Today I'm going to show you what it's like to drive the all-new Lamborghini Countach from a first-person point of view. Only one of 112 ever made, this is the modern interpretation of the legendary poster car, the Lamborghini Countach. It's got unique styling, it's definitely not for everyone, but as I've spent more time with the vehicle, it has grown on me immensely. Particularly that wedge-shaped front end, it's super flat. I think the headlights are a perfect modern interpretation of the old car, the nice thin front bumper, and then check out the Countach badge right there in the front of the car. Now let's go ahead and hop inside to open that rear engine bay cover. Obviously, like all Lamborghini V12 cars, we've got signature scissor doors. Going to pull on this little lever right back here to reveal a massive 6.5 liter naturally aspirated V12 from the Lamborghini Aventador. Now, this doesn't just have a V12, it also has an electric motor that's powered by a supercapacitor. All told, 802 horsepower. Lamborghini says that's good for a 0 to 60 time of 2.8 seconds and a top speed of 221 miles an hour. Now, on the side of the car, there are some signature design elements from the original Countach, namely this knock-a-duct, although it's very much enlarged from the original car. I love the fact that this actually has a sunroof that can be tinted or untinted with the click of a button, which is pretty awesome. Check out the vent work on the side of the car to channel airflow into that massive V12, cool gas cap as well. Coming around to the rear of the Countach, this is probably my least favorite part of the car because of those taillights. We've got the taillights off of the Lamborghini Sion. I think it would have been cooler if they had their own bespoke taillights, maybe 3 squares like the original Countach. That being said, I love the fact that the bumper cuts off right there so you can see the majority of the rear tire. This massive carbon fiber rear diffuser. Check out that quad exhaust. I love the Lamborghini logo painted in white. The triple white combo is amazing, particularly with those white wheels. Now, funny enough, there's actually a front trunk. So we'll go ahead and pop this right here to reveal one of the smallest front trunks I've ever seen in my entire life. Also, the trunk opens up in a really cool fashion. So we can go ahead and find this kind of hidden trunk release here. There it is. The trunk just pulls up and away in this really cool design element. I don't know why I like that so much, but look how small the trunk is. It's actually hilarious, and it has this divider here, so you can't really put much in it whatsoever. That being said, I guess you've got a little bit of extra storage space in your Lamborghini Countach. Now let's go ahead and hop on the interior of the Countach. You'll notice how massive this door sill is. It's actually raised right here, so you gotta be really careful when you climb into this all white interior. I love the carbon fiber steering wheel, the beautiful white leather seats. All right, let's go ahead and climb inside and fire up this V12. It says Countach on the dash there. Beautiful fighter jet style switch up, Italian flag logo. Let's go ahead and turn it on. All right, we'll go ahead and shut the door here. And you'll notice that this says one of 112 right here, which is really, really awesome. It also says Countach on the side right here. Leather seats, once again, amazing. Check this out. Here's the sunroof. Currently, you can't see through it, but if you click this button right here, now you can see through it. You can also see through to that beautiful V12, little super capacitor badge right there. We've got an 8-inch touchscreen display. It's super easy to use. A little glove box. I do like these vents. They're bespoke to this car, look really cool. Carbon fiber doors. Now if we come to the steering wheel, no buttons on the steering wheel. It's a simplistic version of the Aventador's wheel. 7-speed single clutch gearbox. I like the white accents right there. Now the tachometer is actually slightly different than the SVJ that has 3 different screens that are kind of divided off to the sides. This is one massive screen. If we go over here, you can change between street mode, sport mode, and Corsa. Different colors on the display itself. Down here, we've got controls for the windows. This is the front lift, traction control, your hazards, engine start stop, which is hilarious in a supercar like this. All right, over to the side, we've got controls for the mirror as well as the door release. All right, guys, I think it's time to take this for a spin and see what it's like to drive. behind the wheel of the Countach now, and this thing is absolutely nuts. That naturally aspirated V12 sounds insane. And the supercapacitor causing that torque fill between gears, this thing shifts harder than any Aventador I have ever driven. My God. Holy crap, it literally punches you in the back with just this V12 fury. It's not quite as loud as I was expecting, but damn, it is fast and it shifts violently. Jesus. Wow. Thanks to its all-wheel drive, you have endless traction. You can floor it with traction control all the way off in first gear at 5 miles an hour, and it's gonna go in a straight line every single time. The acceleration in this thing is relentless. It's reliable. The power surges on in an extremely linear fashion. Because of that supercapacitor, you get a little bit more grunt at down low and in between shifts as well. And because of that all-wheel drive, it gives you confidence to push this thing like crazy through the turns at higher speeds than you'd imagine possible. And that overrun, when you let off, is just absolutely to die for. Well, we're stuck behind this truck, so let's put it into Strata mode and test out what it's like around town at normal speeds. The gearbox is a lot quicker than before and a lot smoother as well. It definitely is the worst part about this car, and Lamborghini needs to change it, which they have with the Revuelto. They're adding in a double clutch transmission, but man, it is better. It is better for sure. It's honestly shockingly quiet in here when you're in Strata mode. You really don't hear anything at all. You're so isolated from the surrounding world. It kind of feels like this Countach has a lot more isolation in the cabin than like an SV or an SVJ. Significantly more so. I do wish the exhaust was honestly a little bit louder when in Corsa mode. I think it's kind of lacking that crazy, crazy exhaust note. All right, let's go ahead and put it back into Corsa. Put it back into manual as well. All right, launch control. Oh my God. This thing is absolutely freaking ridiculous. Holy crap. I mean, I can't imagine how awesome it would be if they shaved 500 pounds off the curb weight and you put something like a double clutch transmission in it. It would be just absolutely out of this world. But even still, man, this car is pretty darn ridiculous. It's not my style of vehicle. I like the lighter weight, really, really nimble sports cars and hypercars, but I can absolutely respect it for what it is. And it feels truly crazy behind the wheel. I will say though, when you're inside the car, it doesn't feel all that more special than a normal Aventador. It feels like I'm driving an Aventador Ultimate, honestly, which is a little bit of a shame considering it's a $3 million car. So here's the deal. Is it worth $3 million? That is a really tough question. From a driving experience standpoint, absolutely not. You're getting the same driving experience, if not a better driving experience, in something like an Aventador SV. But if you factor in the rarity, 1 of 112, and let's say you have 1 or 2 other old Countaches in your collection, it is a very striking car to look at. It would look really nice next to another white Countach. And because it's rare, it's unlikely to lose much value. So in that sense, I think it might actually be worth that amount of money, but don't expect that it's going to be 5 times the performance of something like an SVJ because it costs 5 times more. It just doesn't provide that level of involvement or engagement. But I don't know if it's supposed to. This wasn't supposed to be some like track-focused, only really, really intense hypercar. It's just when you get to those price figures, you think, well, I mean, 809 horsepower is a lot, but it's not insane. And it basically looks exactly like a normal Aventador in here. save for a couple of key features like the screen and maybe the logo and this little 1 of 112. That being said, special thanks to the owner of this car, RM Collection, for making this possible. Seriously, follow him on Instagram, guys. Wouldn't have been possible without him. I just drove an F50 yesterday for the first time, as well as a Monza SP1, doing the Countach today, as well as an F12 TDF, and an 812 Competizione, some cars that I've really wanted to drive for a long period of time, so make sure to give him a follow. All right, we'll end this video off with no talking, just some pure V12 goodness. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Like always, please browse the channel and subscribe. I look forward to seeing you next video.